So I wanted to talk about one more thing, and that is how we challenge ourselves as men. We now live in a time where a lot of us go to a office job and we sit at a desk, and we're used to being sedentary. Or you go in a car and you work out of your car for a job. There are things that we do that are not conducive or helpful to the spirit of a man, right? The spirit of a man, what I mean by that is that we have always, our ancestors and in us, integrated into us, is the want and the need to be challenged at something, right? So my own ancestors would go out and hunt all day, and then they would come back, they would sleep, they would get back up, and they would go hunt again. So every day was a challenge. Every day was surviving, right? You always had something to look forward to, and there was excitement, and there was adrenaline and dopamine, and the brain was constantly moving and acting and doing something, right? Constantly thinking about something. Well, now we've gotten to the point where we're sedentary all the time. So what do you think that causes inside of a man's brain, right? When you're just sedentary like that, when there's no thought process, there's no challenge, there's no nothing, right? What ends up happening is it creates boredom, or it creates stress, undue stress on the brain, because us as men are meant to push and pull and strive and do something and and work towards a goal or work towards something. So if you have a sedentary life and you're not working towards a goal, or you're not going out and staying busy and keeping yourself, pushing on something, no matter what it is. It could be a car, it could be a motorcycle, it could be, working on a project in your backyard, or whatever the case may be. If you don't have something to continually challenge yourself, it actually causes an issue in the men's brain, where we start to become so bored that we take other things, unhealthy things, and we replace the things that we're not challenging ourselves with those unhealthy things. That could be pornography, that could be liquor, that could be marijuana, that could be anything, right? So as soon as I started to get myself out and started to go and I got a boxing gym in my basement. I go down there and I do boxing in the basement. And if I do a certain combo, I'll try that combo for an entire week, and then I'll add something else onto it the following week, and then I'll try and see if I can do that. And I'm always trying to push it forward more, and I'm trying to trying to challenge myself more and more to that. The other thing is too is I have a car in my garage that I've been working on, a 51, right? And so I'm always trying to do something new on that car, always trying to challenge myself to something new. uh, Taking the brakes apart, getting parts ready, and all that stuff, right? Always something more. The other day I was out on the trail in the mountains, and then instead of just doing a normal hike, I picked up it was probably a quarter log of a tree, probably about that big around. And I picked it up and I put it on my shoulder and I walked with it. And I ended up doing a half a mile with that log on my shoulder. So that may seem like something stupid, right? Unnecessary. But what it does is it triggers something in our brain to make us be like, oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do this. No matter how hard it is, I'm going to work towards this, and I'm going to pick this log up and put it on my shoulder, and I'm going to see how far I can get myself to push. Your brain starts to do something very crazy. Like I don't know how to explain it, but once you start to challenge yourself with stuff like that, it makes you want to push the bar further and further and further. Not in a bad way to hurt yourself, but push yourself in a way that now when you go out and you do something, you're gonna want to push it a little bit more. You're gonna want to see how far you can go the next time. Maybe it's a bigger log. Maybe it's taking that same log and going a little further, right? We don't challenge ourselves enough. And that's the reason why you see a lot of men who are doing gender play, or they are getting into trouble, ending up in prison, uh, hurting people, because we are lacking. We're lacking the challenges in our life. We're lacking the things that keep us busy and keep the brain thinking about something positive all the time, right? I don't know if you know the saying, but I'm sure you heard the saying that an idle mind is the devil's playground, right? So it's the same thing, right? If you're not keeping your mind busy and you're not trying to teach yourself new things, or you're not trying to challenge yourself to do something different, eventually it's gonna eat at you, and you're gonna end up making mistakes that are gonna hurt you, or put you in prison, or you know things like that, right? It'll end up turning into destruction instead of helping you. So there's balance to everything, right? You don't want to challenge yourself to the point of where you could get yourself hurt and die, but at the same time, you also want to challenge yourself enough to where you feel like you're doing something with your time and you're not just wasting your time. Because once you start feeling like you're wasting your time, now it's going to start being destructive. You're going to start destroying yourself because you're not finding something else to do with your time. So I hope that made sense. Thanks for sitting through this with me. This is almost a 6-minute video. So if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Cordials tribe. Subscribe, like, and share. Always try to stay positive and do good things. Have a good one.